It is 3 days to Christmas, and Nigerians are busy getting all they need to celebrate the special season. But not many are smiling as the prices of food, stuff, drinks, and other items they need have risen above their purchasing power. A bag of rice currently sells for more than the country's minimum wage. Other items like tomatoes, onions, peppers, yam, chicken have almost doubled in price. Though the Yuletide comes with a lot of merriment, it appears not many Nigerians will be merry given the current market realities. TVC Breakfast crew went to get a feel of Nigerians at the market and what they have to say about the cost of food items.
Food costs, but this Christmas period, I don't know, everything. You get a market like this, you buy even rice. Everything just the rice. You feel just carry 2K now, carry enter market. You not go get anything. Your life just will be like saying, nah, Indomie you buy. Even come on Indomie like this. Indomie don't cost so. You know, small pack now don't become okay, this spark and only one spark. We know so normally spark now 400. But just go price pack now. One spark now. They tell you 600, 650.
We just make do with what we have at home for now. Because you cannot go out of your budget, definitely, so that you will not end up being in debt. So definitely you just make do. Even pepper, you cannot buy it in large quantity for now. Just buy maybe the one you want to use for today, and tomorrow, let tomorrow sort itself out. That's what we do now. We cannot just say you want to go to the market now and buy tomato in large quantity. It's not possible.
We only this agbalumo cost. Now everything costs for Nigeria now. And like 3,200 before money costs. But now money dollar costs now. Server costs. Now server will they take buy this one. No be Nigeria own. Now server will they take buy them. And you server cost now. It go cost now. 3 is 500 naira.
Like your foods particularly, they are especially rice. In fact, maybe because it's the season, that is why things are quite expensive. I can't buy rice. It's too much, too expensive. Something of I think 35,000 now is going up to 50. The ones we have are people that can afford to buy things from us, not, how do I even put it, just people that can buy, people that has the money to patronize us. But the other people like we can't buy. We buy what our hand can afford or what our money can afford.
Rice is like a general food, you understand, and it keeps increasing every day. And it's really affecting in the sense that even when you go out there to get cooked one, you need to know how much rice you need to buy before you get satisfied. Last year was more than the previous year. This year is more than last year. So we don't know what will happen next year. You understand? So it keeps increasing.
Divergent views from Nigerians there. But joining us via Zoom for more on this is a financial analyst, Olusegun Elemo. Thank you for joining us on TVC Breakfast.
Yeah, thank you for having me. And Merry Christmas to you.
Compliments of the season.
Greetings
to you too as well.
Yes.
I wonder if you listen to the divergent views from Nigerians there that we just aired, talking about how it is that there has been an increase in the prices of goods and whatever it is, their purchasing power, they're not being able to buy things as they could. And this has become a yearly phenomenon. I am wondering how it is that it seems we have not been able to manage this situation such that we are able to cushion the effect for the generality of Nigerians and manage this situation not so that we can have people, have fun and celebrate in a season like this.
Yeah, thank you very much for those points. You see, the way the economy is right now, it's putting a lot of people under pressure. And quite a number of things have happened this year alone. I mean, you know about the flooding that happened. Did not just, kill people, destroyed properties, but also, put agricultural produce at very, significant risk. And everything about the celebration of the Christmas, the Yuletide, hovers around, what people are able to afford in terms of food, clothing, and what have you. So with the growing inflation in the country, certainly you know that the disposable income of the average Nigerian have been eroded and, continues to be eroded on a daily basis. So the reality is what played out in the video that you just put up. Many Nigerians are suffering. Not many people can afford what they used to afford. The impact of the inflation between 25th December 2021 and now has really affected significantly the income that is available to the average Nigerian. There's been no increase in wage. So really, people are living on the edge, and I wonder how many people will survive. And the best way to really assess this, you don't even need to go out of your network. Look within your own family, your extended family. See how many people are asking you for money, what they asked you, or how many people asked you for money this time last year. So I think that, it is real. The inflation is eating into the income of the average Nigerian as it. So in essence, people are going to struggle through this Christmas, and I really feel for a lot of Nigerians right now.
I asked earlier that as a follow-up to the question that how is it that as a country and perhaps to the state level we have not been able to manage this situation and cushion the effect? You have mentioned a variety of issues, the flooding, the inflation. We see other countries, every country across the world is handling matters of inflation, but the impact is not as dire as we see in Nigeria. How is it that we are not being able to manage it?
Well, I think the proactiveness of the policymakers is what is lacking here. I think just yesterday, this president sent a supplementary budget to the National Assembly of about more than 800 billion naira, and that is to also, provide incentives to farmers who have lost produce due to the flooding, which in essence should help, subsidize whatever, prices they're going to put out in the market. Because truly, if, for instance, you had, you had 2 tubers of yam, and then the flooding affected one of the, tubers of yam, you are going to put the price, the loss on that one tuber on the other one. In essence, if you were supposed to sell a tuber for 50 naira, you are certainly going to sell for 100 naira because you are going to you have to find a way to make to make up for that loss. I think that is also the reason why the president sent that supplementary budget. But like I said, the proactiveness of policymakers, we should have done this. The supplementary budget should have come much faster than now. And the incentives for farmers should have come much faster than now, such that food produce in the market is heavily subsidized at this time, rather than subsidizing petroleum products. And we've said it countless times. The petroleum subsidy is inefficient. There's so much corruption around it. What you need to focus on are the things that affect Nigerians directly, healthcare, education, food, and things like that. Those are the things that require subsidy. I think the policymaker should, focus on those things. Like you said, why are other countries able to intervene in things like this better than Nigeria? It's because they target subsidies on things that affect the common people, not, the elites. Because when you look at what has happened with petroleum subsidy in Nigeria, for instance, it's the elite that benefits from it, not the common man. So I think, the government needs to, reshape, the implementation of subsidy and put subsidy where it actually should be, not where it is right now.
Mike, you had a question you wanted to ask him.
Shagun, there's what they call, or what I may call, Christmas inflation. And I wonder why we have this every single year. Now, everyone's talking about the bag of rice, for instance. A 50 kilograms bag of rice in the last few months would have gone for maybe 30-something thousand, 35, 36, 37, 38,000. As Christmas is coming now, pricing it now goes up to about 40-something to 50-something thousand. Why at every Christmas do we have inflation that seems to be peculiar to the Christmas period? What do you think is behind all of these?
Well, I think it's the mentality of, the average Nigerian. Just like you ask, why is there always fuel scarcity, when we're, closing out the year, like we've seen in recent times. If not for maybe the intervention of the president and, a few of his, government institutions. You saw what happened with the fuel situation and how it continued to deteriorate. It would have gotten worse by now if not for that intervention. And that's why we say there must be intervention, looking at the situation, looking at the economic situation. There must be constant check on the situation of the economy so that you can intervene properly. Now, going to the Christmas inflation that you mentioned, I think it's the mentality of Nigerians generally, especially those who are operating in the market economy, that people will naturally demand more around Christmas, and everybody wants to make a kill, about that time. Perhaps maybe all the money that wasn't made from January to November, everyone wants to make it in December. And then again, about the issue on the product, particularly let's narrow down on rice. Rice is a staple food for, every, at least, average Nigerian family. But unfortunately, it has become an elitist food now. And people now, wait till December, wait till Christmas, wait till New Year before they eat rice. It shouldn't be. And those operating in the market have also come to realize that, people aren't demanding rice as much as they should. And perhaps this is the only time, the demand comes. And, let's make a kill out of it. So I think that but maybe the anchor borrowers program of the central bank hasn't even yielded as much result. We need to assess the effectiveness of that policy. We need to know, the impact of that policy and whether it has really impacted positively in the agriculture sector. Because, recently you saw the rice pyramid. By now, you would have thought that we shouldn't have this much scarcity and high prices in the market if those pyramids are actual pyramids that should translate into products in the market. So I think that we need to look at that policy, the anchor borrowers program of the CBN, look at the impact, look at, whether it has really impacted the agriculture sector positively and why prices keep going up despite, huge amount of money, put into that program. And I also feel that we ourselves as Nigerians, we need to be responsible. Many people have stocks, at home that they put out during Christmas, but they still, apply, the food inflation prices on those products. I don't think that should be. I think we should look out for ourselves as people. If you had products, prior to Christmas, prior to December, that came in at a particular price, you should let out those products in the market at, much, slightly, higher price that, helps you to make a margin, of profit that is reasonable, not something, that should then put fellow Nigerians, at the risk of not, being able to afford this product at all.
Well, as we say, it's a yearly thing. And like you have pointed, Nigerians need to become responsible with regards to this. But if we continue like this, paint a picture of what it might be in coming years if we continue to have this exploitative mentality to take advantage of periods like this. What picture do you see if we don't address it and become responsible?
It's going to continue and continue, and you will then leave price determination at the discretion of citizens, which really shouldn't be. Yes, we are running a free market economy where, producers bring their product and they determine the price based on operation cost and things like that. And there is little to how government should control prices in a free market economy, which is true. But also is that institutions are there to provide, to regulate. And if you don't have proper regulation, you will have to live at the discretion of your citizens, which really is a very, dangerous thing to do. And that is what we are saying, for instance, with the fuel prices. If you go to some communities today, you are not buying at, even though there is an official price, you are not buying at those official prices. Even when you come to city centers in many states of Nigeria today, there are many filling stations, who aren't selling at the official prices. So, and you are probably living at the discretion of marketers. And that is exactly what is happening in other, sectors of the economy today, especially the agricultural sector. So you're having a situation where citizens are now living at the discretion of fellow citizens. I think government should intervene properly. They should monitor what is happening in the market and ensure that if things are, running out of control, then they can, intervene by way of subsidy and provide the necessary intervention to those, responsible for operating in that market. I think that's what government is doing. That's what we elected them to do, not to just, leave citizens at the discretion of fellow citizens in determining prices of products in the market, especially, at a situation like this.
All right, Shago, as it is where everyone is complaining, some are hoarding whatever they are hoarding, some are taking advantage of whatever they're taking advantage of, and everyone is still complaining. So who is really making the money? Because that money is in the hands of someone, as it is. It is either leaving someone's hand and getting into the hands of the other, but who is really making the money? Who are those, cashing out? Who are those smiling to the banks at times like this?
Well, you see, no matter how chaotic an economy is, there are a group of people making the kill. No matter how bad the fuel situation is in the country, marketers are making their money. So that is it. As people continue to grow through this period, there are a few people who are smiling to the bank. Perhaps those responsible for supply, those who are into wholesale supplies, who are into, that is it. A group of that government needs to look at the issues, look at the situation, the economic situation properly, and ensure that they are able to intervene. Perhaps, maybe, and I know that, of course, like I said earlier, the president sent a supplementary budget to the National Assembly, so it's already intervening. For instance, part of the reasons why food products are high in the market today is because of the roads. The flood eroded, many of the roads, and the roads are very poor and bad shape right now. All of those costs are going to go on the food prices. If it used to take me 10 naira to move my food products from the farm to the market, and it's now costing me 100 naira to do the same, I'm going to put those costs on the food products, and that would mean high inflation in the market. So it is good that the government and the president sent that supplementary budget, but it came very late. The flooding happened long ago, and I feel that if we're looking out for people, during this Yuletide season, we should have done what we're doing right now much faster, so that we're able to ease the burden on people. People are not just going to pay higher for food; they're also going to pay higher for transportation, and they're going to probably spend more time on the road before. To their, we need to be proactive. We need to look out for one another, and we need to do the needful in intervening in situations like this.
Now, how can Nigerians manage the situation, especially those who are finding it difficult and challenging at this time? How can we become even our brother's keeper as it stands? And then, should the government be also looking at perhaps increasing the wage or the minimum wage from where it is as it stands to help the purchasing power of the average Nigerian?
Well, let me start from the second question. Yes, certainly we have to review the minimum wage. There's no doubt about it. And I'm sure that the labor people are just waiting for the elections to be over. Once we have a new government, I'm sure those demands will be on the table. And then, of course, the options for the new government also is that, there will be some negotiation. And I already foresee that the labor is going to come with, reviewed minimum wage. And I think they should begin to look at significant negotiation because certainly the fuel subsidy is going to go, and they can launch on that fuel subsidy that is going to be taken away to negotiate something significant for the minimum wage. I already foresee that after the election. So I'm sure all parties are just waiting for the elections to be over. So certainly that is going to come on the table. On the other question that you asked about how Nigerians can cope with the moment, I think everybody just have to be able to do what they can afford. Yes, I mean, relatively, people can, depending on their income level. Certainly, everybody will have to stay within their means and just, live with what they can afford. But I think more importantly is that we have to look out for we have to look out for one another at this period. Look out for people who, perhaps don't have as much as you do. And no matter how little you can provide, to them, I think that's the essence of the period we're in as well. The essence of, giving this period. So we have to really, put that to test. Let's give at this time. There are many people, lavishing in poverty who have needs at this time. And it's not just money. Food, if you have food items, give to those around you, your neighbors, and you can look out for people, on the streets or, within your community. Give them food items. Give them, if you have clothing that you are not using, if you have clothes you haven't worn in a long time, means you don't need them. Also give it out to people who don't have much in that regard. So we have to look out for one another this period. I think that's the essence of the season we're in. People have to give.
All right, Segun, the reality sometimes is that the taste that people have sometimes put them under pressure, where the realities of the economy, they are faced with it, yet they want to do it the same way they've always been doing it, either because it's tradition or because that is the way we've always seen mom and dad do it, or that's the way we've always been doing it since the last decade or something, and everyone is under pressure. So the point there is, talk to us about the need to adjust to fit into the reality sometimes, because a lot of people, from our conversation with people, sometimes they know that it's biting harder, yet they still want to go ahead.
No, sir, I mean, look at it this way. If you had children at home and you've always bought Christmas, you've always bought clothes, new clothes for them at Christmas, and then this time around, you say there's no money. I mean, children don't understand that language. No matter how poor the family is, they want to be like their peers. They want to be like, their friends. If their friends are wearing new clothes during Christmas, they also want to wear new clothes during Christmas. For instance, even at school, you see a situation where you get a note from your children's school and saying that they have to pay a due for Christmas for them to be able to see Father Christmas and get Christmas gifts and all that. You have to make the money available for the kids to be able to do that. I mean, they don't understand that language. Adults can adjust, but I think the pressure is coming from the children to the parents, and the parents, try to explain these things, but because they also understand that there is children have understanding these things, so they stretch a little more to be able to at least provide the basics. And what are the basics really? The basics is that, there's clothes for people to wear. There's food for them to eat at Christmas. And, because Christmas is not something that you celebrate every day, it's something that, happens once in a year. So if you have been having maybe a small party with your family over the last decade, and now it's difficult to do that, yes, you will come to terms with that. But the truth is that you aren't living the life you used to live. So adjusting will be difficult. But certainly people have to adjust based on the reality on ground. But what should the government do? Are we going to keep adjusting and keep going down and down and down? No. We have to find a way to manage the situation that we are in. And that's the whole essence of government.
Absolutely.
Reduce this inflation.
We have to leave the conversation here now, Segun. We have to leave the conversation here now. Our time has run out. But thank you for your time on the program, Financial Analyst Olusegun Nlemo, for your time.
Thank you for having me.